Okay guys, so it is time to talk about Spider-Man Homecoming as it is opening this weekend, and of course all eyes are on the franchise considering one, well, it's the third reboot in under 20 years, and two, this is the first time the web crawler is going to be swinging into the Marvel Studios lot in a solo film. So expectations are pretty high, and naturally, everybody kind of wants to see how it's going to do this box office weekend, as that is going to indicate whether it is a big success or a giant critical failure. Well, when it comes to the numbers anyway, because as we know with history, even if you make a ton of money, it's the critics at the end that might win out, and that's what happened with the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. So currently, as I'm making this video right now, the Amazing Spider-Man is looking to still maybe kind of edge out what was actually seen with Spider-Man Homecoming if these numbers are to hold up. Now, of course, I am going to be talking about, the opening weekend numbers, which the Amazing Spider-Man 2 came in at $91 million. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 came in at $62 million. Spider-Man 3 is still the franchise's highest with $151 million. Spider-Man 2, arguably the best movie in the franchise, was surprisingly only $88 million, and the first Spider-Man movie at the time shattered all records with $114 million. So when we look at Spider-Man Homecoming, which obviously people are going to account for inflation, the highest estimate is $100 million, which is nothing to kind of, sneeze at and joke about, but Sony is being a lot less optimistic, and they're expecting $80 to $90 million. But now this is where things get interesting. Even if this movie was to open with, let's say, a low of $75 million, it would still already be ahead of every single other movie, considering its budget is way lower, and Sony hasn't spent as much money marketing it as they did with something like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Considering The Amazing Spider-Man 2 itself cost an astonishing close to $450 million to make, whereas to Spider-Man Homecoming is only costing around $300 with marketing, and that's of course involving the free marketing they're getting from Marvel, which involves him in Civil War and everything like that. So you guys, let me know what your thoughts are. What do you think it's going to open up with this weekend, and do you think Sony and Marvel are going to see this as a huge success in the long run if it does say open up with the lowest numbers so far? Let me know in the comments down below.